Hi all, I'm gonna review Trillium sour beer. I haven't reviewed so many of those because honestly a lot of them are just too sour and all about the fruit, not the funk. But I once had raspberry Lineage wheat, a little taste of it last year, and thought it was really good. So I picked up a bottle. So this is this year's batch though. It's from July 18th of 2018. It's 7.4% alcohol. And this one, obviously, there's barrel aging involved. They don't tell you how long the barrel aging is, and they do let it age on the raspberries, so there's a little bit of fermentation of the raspberry sugars for sure. But I have a feeling it's not extensively barrel aged like some of their other beers. It's probably not in barrels for, over a year. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a lot less than a year, but I don't really care as long as it's funky, complex, drinkable. That's all I want. This has been in my fridge for a couple days, so it shouldn't be overcarbed. Ooh, big whiff of raspberry coming out of there. And I really like that Trillium has been switching to the smaller bottles because a lot of these you can get for only $7. So I can get a really fantastic barrel-aged sour beer in a small package at a small price because I don't really find myself drinking giant big bottles by myself. Those bottles I usually have to save for when I want to share them with a group of people, but that's looking pretty good there. You can tell the head's gonna die because it's rather sour, but really good bubbles come out of there. Some nice bubbles coming from the center where there's a little bit of an activator or something. Very, very, very red. It's not purple. It's just basically a straight up deep red, maybe pink amber hues on the edges. Yeah, maybe I should let this bottle sit longer and maybe it would develop more funkiness. I'm getting some funk for sure, but it's really big on jammy raspberry. I haven't had any of the Trillium Faded Farmers, which are all different fruit sour beers, or their soaks, or super soaks, which are supposed to be the ones that are the extra super duper fruity. And this one's pretty darn fruity, but it's from their Lineage line of beers, which I guess this is technically like a saison. It's like a saison base, and this is the wheat saison base. And then they add fruit to it, whereas with those other beers, I think those are more of a straight up just sour beer base. They don't use saison yeast. So this one's a little bit more complex than like the yeast because it's got saison, but then it's also got all the critters that live in the barrels and their New England wild culture going in there. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I pick up the saison notes. There's a little bit of pear, a little bit of orchard fruits happening. A little bit of spice, but the raspberry is really dominating the aroma right now. Super effervescent. Very, very fruity. And not very sour. Yeah. I don't think I'll have too much trouble drinking this whole bottle. But wow. I wonder how much raspberries they use in this. It's really nice, but I feel like the saison quality cleans it up and dries it out nicely. So it's not just like I just ate a pile of Sour Patch Kids. But it does have a really big fruitiness to it that is nice. It's rather complex, but I think if it's sat in the bottle a little longer, I might get more funk out of it. Yeah, now I can get a deep whiff of it, and there is some sort of barnyard thing happening. Yeah, definitely some fermented, almost rotting Brett notes. Yeah, I like that, but it's not super off-putting. I think most people would mostly just pick up the raspberry and notice that there's some sort of funkiness, but the funkiness isn't overbearing, isn't quite porta-potty, any really, really, really challenging flavors. But that's good, that's good. I hope they release just regular Lineage wheat. I don't know if I've had a chance to have that one. Maybe I had it a while ago, but I hope they do those ones in the small bottles. Because I'd like to try one of those, maybe age one of those a long time, see if it gets real funky. Yeah, it seems like definitely a beer that you want to consume pretty cold, and it'll be nice and fruity, but then it'll get funkier as it warms up. I'm not getting too many tannins, which is a combination of extensive barrel aging and super sourness in some beers. It makes it too dry. I like that it's kind of low in the tannic structure. It's helping to dry out the extreme jammy raspberry flavors. But if it were more acidic and had more tannins, it would be unpalatable to me probably, at least for more than a few sips. It really carbonated, keeps it light on the tongue, otherwise I might almost be syrupy because it's so fruity. But yeah, I'm enjoying it now and I'm getting the funk. Yeah, I give this a 4.25. I think when I had it last year, I gave it like a 4.5. I don't remember what the age of that bottle was, but it is a pretty impressive beer. It's probably one of my favorite sour beers from Trillium, honestly. Like, I think I even like it more than their Trillium Wild Ale, because that one is more sour than this, honestly. Even though those are not barrel aged at all, but they're just really big on the upfront lactic acid puckering quality. With this one, it's got a little bit of that. Pretty low on the vinegar. It does linger with this funky kind of apple cider vinegar. Kind of not musty, but almost on the edge of like overripe moldy raspberry taste. That lingers in my mouth. It's really nice though. And it's not like actually like drinking vinegar. It doesn't have a horrible, unpleasant burn. And I would maybe even give this a 4.5. I'm not sure if bottles are still available. They might be, but I would highly recommend Raspberry Lineage Wheat. I think it should make people who love their funky saisons happy. It should make people who love their super fruity sour beers happy. The only thing, it does not have that puckering quality. If you really want the pucker, the explosion of sourness, you're not going to get it, but you're going to get lots and lots of nice raspberry. So I would almost give this a 4.5. I'm really enjoying it now. Do more beers like this, Trillium, please. Maybe do a dry hop version of this, or maybe do regular Lineage Wheat with dry hops instead of fruit. I know it's similar to their Motueka and Citra dry hop Trillium, but this would just be a little bit more fun, a little bit more up my alley, more funk, less acidity, but very well done. Goodbye.